we have to keep trying, because the moment we stop trying is when we lose our humanity.
If you see this video, we have been intercepted and kidnapped in international waters by the Israeli occupational forces.
She's a young, angry person. I don't know if it's real anger. It's hard to believe, actually, but I saw what happened. She's certainly different. Anger management. I think she has to go to an anger management class. I think Israel has enough problems without kidnapping Greta Thunberg.
US President Donald Trump scoffed this week. With that one-liner laced with sarcasm and delivered with a smirk, he revived a long-simmering feud with the Swedish climate activist Greta Thunberg. But this time, the backdrop was not the climate, but a Gaza-bound aid flotilla intercepted by Israeli forces in international waters. On board that intercepted vessel, Madeleine, was Thunberg, part of a 12-member Freedom Flotilla Coalition, or the FFC, aiming to deliver humanitarian aid to the besieged Palestinian enclave. After her detention by Israeli forces, Greta posted a video stating she had been kidnapped, a word that sparked outrage, mockery, and now another Trump takedown.
Did an illegal act by kidnapping us on international waters and against our will, bringing us to Israel, keeping us in the bottom of the boat, not letting us getting out and so on. But that is not the real story here. The real story is that there is a genocide going on in Gaza and a systematic starvation following the siege and blockade now, which is leading to food, medicine, water that are desperately needed to get into Gaza is prevented from doing so. But of course there are many attempts like this mission, both by sea and land, to break that siege and open up a humanitarian corridor.
The Trump-Thunberg rivalry dates back to 2019, when the world watched Greta's infamous glare at Trump at a UN climate summit. The photo went viral. Trump later tweeted that she seemed like a quote-unquote very happy young girl looking forward to a bright and wonderful future. A comment dripping with sarcasm, to say the least. Greta clapped back by making his insult her Twitter bio. Since then, Trump has repeatedly dismissed Greta and her climate campaigns as hysterical, scripted, and emotionally unstable. Over the years, they have traded blows, Greta trolling him on social media platform X and Trump mocking her as a symbol of woke tantrums. But this is their most geopolitically charged clash yet. While they were effective in trolling, Trump's jab sidestepped the core issue: the legality and morality of Israel's blockade and its tactics. The Madeleine wasn't meant to change facts on the ground. It was a message in a bottle, carried not by the weight of its cargo, but by the symbolism of its passengers. Thunberg's presence ensured media coverage. Her words guaranteed controversy. On June 9th, Israeli naval forces boarded the civilian vessel. The activists were detained, including Greta and French-Palestinian politician Rima Hassan. Greta accused Israel of violating international law. Israel released photos of activists receiving water and sandwiches, dismissing the voyage as a selfie yacht stunt. The legal status of Israel's blockade and its right to intercept ships in international waters is deeply contested. Israel cites the San Remo Manual, an international precedent for blockades in armed conflict. Critics, including UN experts like Francesca Albanese, say that the blockade amounts to collective punishment and violates humanitarian law. The activists argue that boarding a civilian vessel outside territorial waters constitutes piracy. The truth? It's murky. Legal scholars are split, and the debate is more political than judicial. Trump's comments, while on brand, serve a dual function. They ridicule Thunberg's credibility, casting her as overly dramatic, and they signal alignment with Israel without entering the legal or ethical minefield of the blockade. But critics argue his mockery trivializes real humanitarian efforts and plays into gendered, dismissive framing of young female activists. In the end, both sides may have gotten what they wanted. Thunberg drew attention to Gaza, Trump reasserted his combative brand, and Israel, on its part, reinforced its blockade. But the deeper questions about legitimacy, law, and life under siege remain unanswered.